Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. And yes, folks, we're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we get going, a few of the usual disclaimers. We're keeping things short. I've got so much to do. Not too much with the apartment because of the thorough cleaning last weekend, but I do gotta tidy up a bit, as they say. Do an Aikens run, which is the health food store. Vitamins and stuff have to be replenished. You know, those little different various vitamins and teas that I used in order to keep me sane during the work week because I work in a call center. And let's see here. I have to do a mall run. God, please kill me. Because that's the only place we have a Bath and Body Works in this town, and I have to go pick up some soap. And then I have to hit Wally World after that. So, how did the saying go? See, to those who are about to die, we salute you. Alright, folks. Now for the usual disclaimers. First off, you are going to see the link to this report right there in the description box, alongside the other pertinent links to the Stop the Shocks campaign, including Autistic Hoya's massive archive on the subject. The Tim Flakes votes, you know the drill. Sign your name, click on your senator, and the ever present and self explanatory change.org. Shut the Judge Rotenberg Center down petition. When we talk about the JRC, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of kids with disabilities being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please use your headphones. And yes, I may finally be out of brain fog because I had 2 days in a row go according to routine, but I'm still, let's face it, exhausted as per usual. So if I stumble over any of my words this morning due to the fact I have not yet had my second dose of caffeine, my apologies in advance, alright? Okay, so we're going to where we left off yesterday, student appearance and attire. I'm going to take a sip of this calming tea right now because here comes the stupid. The students were attractively groomed and attired for the duration of the visit. Can somebody please explain to me why the fuck this matters? I understand that it is important to have a neat appearance. Obviously. To be clean, make sure your clothes don't smell, you're freshly laundered. Yeah, all that. You know, But why does it matter attractively groomed? What planet are we on? And why the fuck do we hold autistic and disabled kids to higher fucking standards than we hold to every other single fucking kid in the US or the rest of the world? Can somebody explain this shit to me? Why the fuck do we have to dress up like we are going to church every day when we're inside a school like this? Where normal kids get to wear whatever the hell they want, as long as they're freshly laundered and there's nothing absolutely ridiculous that they're wearing. It's fine. Oh, but no, we have to be dressed like we're going to church or mass every day. Why? Why are these weird expectations that we do not put on normal fucking kids always put on us? I've never understood that. Like, even when I was a kid, because remember, I was diagnosed late, so I got to see the other kids that were part of the special eds programs growing up, and they were always expected to dress a certain way. And folks, guess what? It painted a target on their back. It painted a target on their back. It made them stand out that much more. And guess what, folks? It caused that much more bullying and ostracization towards them. You know what I'm saying? It is beyond ridiculous that we have these expectations that we have to fucking follow, but normal kids don't have to. We really got to start looking at ourselves here and the standards that we hold disabled kids to, and this weird shit we seem to have mandated since like the 60s. I'm just saying. Moving on. No New York State student was wearing short pants, gym shorts with elastic waists, as was described as typical attire in the BRI literature. So you see that here, yes? Well, we made them look attractive for your visit. See, when you go out of your way, you have to excuse me. I've dealt with these bastards for numerous years and I've been completely disillusioned. Like I said on last night's stream, like the Depp case and how they treated him did not surprise me. Disappointed, yes, but I was already so disillusioned because of how the media, the state, the whole entire nation has treated the victims of this freaking hell show that's known as the JRC. I wasn't surprised, unfortunately. But I run off topic here. What I'm saying is, usually in my mind, being disillusioned as I am at this point, if you're making them look attractive, so to speak, you're trying to make the overall school look attractive, in which to attract more students from the New York State. Remember, each kid, each school year is $278,000 ahead to that school each year. And that school rakes in $75 million every year. So think about that for a moment. But it does a dual purpose. They want to make the school attractive to the New York State Education Department. And they also want to hide a myriad of sins, as it were. You see what I'm saying? But they forget that in the literature, their own literature, what they say is normal clothing at the school. Thankfully, New York, unlike the majority of this planet nowadays, did their due diligence. Thank God somebody does. But moving on. The purpose of such pants is to enable staff to immediately remove them as needed for a pinch or a spank to the buttocks. The team did not note that 2 other students at the school was attired in such pants and that staff had considerable difficulty in removing long pants with belts on New York students. Think about this. This is 1979, folks, where nobody thought anything about teachers exposing students to the rest of the student body and spanking them. I mean, could you imagine that happening in the modern world right now? And the uproar there would be? Yeah. But no, nowadays, we just allow a school to basically shock a child and burn their skin and cause trauma, PTSD, psychological issues, and health issues down the line. Yeah, look into some of my other videos on what the GED does to these kids. Dr. Blank was asked whether or not children were attired differently for the benefit of the site team. He replied that it was entirely possible that the special effort had been made to dress the children for the visitors, as everyone likes to put their best foot forward when under observation. Like I said, they want to make that school look attractive so they can bring in more students, which brings in more money. They also want to hide a myriad under the sin of sins by making them dress pretty and forcing them to smile, which they still do to this day, by the way. They have their own Twitter page. If you want to go on there, check it out. Language used by staff and children. We're actually going to close out here. I think we kind of gone over quite enough this morning. JRC likes to use everything at their disposal. When confronted with the horror of other parents when they see what happens in the school and they watch the news reports, they use the parents that they have brainwashed to their way of thinking to combat it. When health issues are brought to the forefront, things like what happened with Andre McCollums, for example, they will then use the same defense that this is the worst of the worst. It's not. That they'd either be in juvie or dead without them. Complete bullshit. You know what the defenses that they use, and then how this is the only way we can help them. It's either drug them into zombiehood or basically shocking them nearly to death and torturing them, starving them, and sleep depriving them every day of their lives. They want to present an attractive picture to us all. It is very much interesting to me that Dr. Matthew Israel chose to design his school after The Wizard of Oz. Because he seems very much the gentleman who's saying, please do not look at the man behind the curtain. Now, on that note, I'm going to go ahead and close out here. We don't get very many views on this channel, especially on this subject, and the few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time this morning, and as always, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Bye-bye. No, that's